Oh, there we go. Now I'm back. Hello.
You back?
It's not even my ISP.
Stanny's OBS being a bitch.
I'm gonna have to, like, do that and hope and pray.
It wouldn't take a while for you to get set back up. I'd almost say pause the stream and go do it now. But
Yeah, no, it would take me a fucking long time to actually, like, set everything back up.
Anyway, Leggy.
Yes.
Love this creature. I'm putting him in Gems of Our Hearts because I love this thing.
I think that's fair as well.
It's a fantastic monster, a wonderful concept for the Leviathan design.
Also, like,
And
hearing you get so excited over...
Well, I'm also excited because you got two really cool looking subspecies as well from 3 Ultimate.
Yeah.
Which one hasn't been seen. Actually, I don't think either has been seen since. First, we have the easier of the two subspecies, the Ivory Lagiacrus.
Oh, that's pretty.
It's so pretty. I love the white and the blue.
It works so well.
Ivory, like it's still laggy, but it's such a nice alternate palette for a baggy.
So I like that little tweak. It's just like, it's subtle.
Of changing it from blue to white.
Yeah. But it's a nice flip.
And making the brown crystals cobalt blue, which still glow blue when he gets angry, by the way. Honestly, I kind of like the Ivory's color palette more than the base laggy, but they're both good.
Yeah.
So, I'm curious though, which do you like more?
Between the two, I think I still like normal laggy a little bit more.
Like the more sapphire blue over the pale white?
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. This thing's also going in gems. I don't care. I know I'm gonna throw 3 things up in the highest tier possible right away. I don't care.
I mean, that's what it's
These
there
are my
for.
babies.
This is what it's there for.
So, I'm guessing you'd put it below the regular laggy?
That's where I would, yeah.
They're both more or less even for me, so I'll go ahead and put him below. But honestly, I think the other subspecies is going to go above. Because this thing, the fight sucked because it was only underwater. But we have the Abyssal Lagiacrus.
Okay.
I love this thing.
It's
so cool.
That's rad.
How often do you see cyan and black electricity?
Yeah, it's also like... God, this is good.
They outdid themselves with this color change, I'm gonna be honest. This, like, black and cyan is fucking sleek.
It's real good.
It's so good. I hate the fact that he was one of the few fights in the game that was permanently underwater. And with how clunky the underwater fight mechanics were, like, they just need to completely overhaul how this thing works if it ever shows up again.
Yeah. Ride the lightning out. Oh, it kinda does, actually, yeah.
I mean, considering it's a giant deep-sea crocodilian that shoots electricity, you're probably not too far off, Aiko.
It's a crocodile
Probably not too
eel?
far off. Crocodile sea serpent monster. Also, to be fair, I think the Abyssal is also like twice as big as the other ones.
That would make sense.
It's huge.
Much like a lot of extreme deep sea creatures, it's large.
But no, I'm putting this thing above the other two just because that color palette is so pretty. And again, the black electricity just looks amazing.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I can agree with that. Definitely goes up top.
I love the laggies. I hope at least base returns for wild, if not base and ivory.
Mm.
If they find a way to redo Abyssal and include it as well, I'm gonna be fucking. But I'm not holding my breath for that.
Yeah. It'd be cool.
Now we're moving on to some other interesting monsters. And I believe the only two of the snake wyvern type that was introduced in Monster Hunter 4. We have the Naharala.
Huh.
Now, unfortunately, this is the only render that exists for it.
Yeah.
The only official render that exists for it. But this thing is very long. It is like an actual giant snake.
Yeah, it's like...
You'll be able to see it better on the subspecies render.
Yeah.
Yeah. I said Naharala. I don't know if the JA syllable is supposed to be pronounced as a ja or a ha.
It's like... I'm looking at it, and it's kind of like... It's almost kind of like stone. It looks kind of like stone.
A little stony.
Yeah.
A little hard to tell as well, but it does have a bit of a beak to it.
Yeah.
It's got big fangs. And, in particular, those like, big, things down the back of its neck. I don't know how to describe them, like the really big scales.
Yeah.
Part of its attack patterns is it will throw scales onto the ground, and when it screams or rattles loudly enough, the scales will like resonate and then make a small little burst.
Huh.
So it effectively sets it kind of sets traps as it fights.
Yeah. That's pretty
along
neat.
with other sneaky stuff like digging through the ground, and it actually has a pin move like grabbing hunters. Not to put too much emphasis on how it fights, just trying to give you more clues for how its design and concept work.
Yeah. Which, like, as you said, like, this one, it doesn't really show you a whole lot of it because it's, like, coiled up here. And it's kind of, like, hiding the majority of it, so it's, like...
You can definitely get a better sense of scale with this thing on the subspecies that we'll look at next. But...
Like, this is cool. And I'm leaning towards putting this one in high, just because, like, it's cool design. I like it.
Yeah.
Neat.
Yeah.
I do want to see more. It's very similar to what what happened with me with some of the cards in the Yu-Gi-Oh list. It's like, they're cool, but I want to see more of it.
Do you want to put him... Where do you want to put it relative to the two elders that are already there?
I think I would put it below the crab. Right now.
Below the crab.
Yeah, I think I'd put it below the crab. Because I do want to see more.
Alright. Now this one definitely works better for showing the length and the scale of it.
Yeah, see, now that's better.
Yeah. This is the title Najarala.
Also, this one's really pretty and kind of reminds me of, like, what is the flying serpent deity?
Quetzalcoatl?
Yes. Or, what's the other one?
This one else.
Kukulkan?
Oh yeah, Kukulkan.
There we go. That. Pretty colors.
Yeah. Interesting considering I think you only find it in the frozen map in 4U. Just given those colors, you'd think it would be more of a tropical creature.
It really does give off, like, that tropical biome kind of vibe.
And it changes from a generic sort of no element to a water monster, hence the title name. And actually, I think Bucket might remember more than I do. I can't remember if it can also make the scales that it implants in the ground detonate, but I do remember one of its attacks, it will actually fire water shots out of its mouth, and they ricochet, and it will aim for and ricochet them off of the scales that it sticks in the ground.
Okay, that's cool.
Which is actually kind of cool. The monster can do trick shots.
I do appreciate that. I'm definitely, like, this one...
Cool colors.
Yeah.
Fancy.
This one easily goes above the other one, like, hands down.
Does it beat the Elder Dragons? Or is it just above the other one?
I'm gonna be honest. Design-wise,
Yeah.
I actually kind of want to put this one up top high.
I'm okay with that, honestly. I like the Snake Wyverns.
It's cool.
These two are the only ones so far, and have never been seen since 4.
Like, it's a cool design, and also, like, I love the very vibrant colors.
I think you could still detonate them. I think you're right. I just couldn't remember if... Because I'm pretty sure the ricochet shots do destroy the scales that sticks in the ground. I just can't remember if it could do the whole scream to set them all off or not.
Also, I may or may not be, like, vibrating violently as we get closer and closer to a certain icon.
I think I know the one.
I think you definitely know it.
But first we gotta go through a couple of brute wyverns that were introduced in the 3rd generation and not seen since. And originally hailing from Portable 3rd, Duramboros.
The funny... I want to say it's a yak.
Big
or a water buffalo
thing. Yeah. Big ass club on the end of its tail. Covered in moss. As Wilson said, weapon bouncing for days, and the absolute worst possible introduction. So, I need to get this out. Because you didn't play... Well, I played 3 Ultimate, and this is how it was. I assume it was similar to Portable 3rd, just because of how the games kind of build on each other through the generation.
Yeah.
In 3, you did not have Palicos.
Yes.
Instead, you had 2 little Shakalaka friends, who were just these weird little forest sprite creatures, whatever. Doesn't fucking matter for this. One of them, or the one you doing the Duramboros quest, unlocks your ability to bring along the second one, I believe. So up until this point in the game, you only have 1.
Right.
However, the whole story point of this quest is that your 1 ran off like a lunatic into this thing's territory on its own.
Oh.
So you have to fight this thing with no backup. Nothing to draw attention away, so healing is harder. It is huge, and the map it is on consists of very small rooms, so it easily covers the whole area. And as Fancy says, guess what this thing likes to do?
It just kind of like spins. Which, I mean,
it spins.
I guess it's like one of the only things that it can do, because it looks like it only has the 2 legs, and it just kind of counterbalanced.
Yeah, it's a brute wyvern, so it has the 2 big back legs that it walks on, and then 2 smaller forelegs.
So...
And this thing mainly attacks with its tail, so tail swipes, tail smashes, or spins, where it spins like a top and moves around, and or possibly throws itself at you when it's done. So...
I'm also gonna be honest looking at this thing. I'm inclined to put it in the same tier with funny mudfish.
I probably would too.
Because,
honestly,
it's still good.
It's very good, and honestly, if it comes back for Wilds, I wouldn't be mad necessarily.
Also, these things probably wouldn't be as bad with a bigger area to fight them in.
No,
you actually have
bigger area
room.
and better mobility. No.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. It just had an awfully designed introduction.
But yeah, like the moss
monster itself,
yeah,
not too bad.
Like the moss and stuff's cool.
Yeah,
better than mudfish.
It's fun that it's a creature that's so big and slow and stupid that moss grows on it.
Yeah, it's neat.
Yeah. So you said above the mudfish?
Yep. Of Eurytotus.
There you go. Yeah, this thing also got a subspecies in 3 Ultimate, which thankfully did not have as bad of an introduction, because you actually got to fight it like normal. Rust Duramboros. This was like the only render, because again, these guys only ever showed up in 3 and left and never came back.
I see that like it's got the fully intact horns, and it is now just covered in like rusted metal.
Not so much rusted metal. I think it's actually that it's wandered into drier climates, and the moss that's grown on it has basically withered and shriveled
yeah,
up.
just shriveled up. Thank you for hydrating. Thank you.
Thank you, Bucket. Also, a little harder to see. This guy's tail shape is actually different.
Yeah, I see. It looks like it's a little sharper. It's got like a bigger blade on it, kind of.
Yeah, it has 2 bigger ridges on either side, so it's more of an axe shape than the regular Durambos' club.
Yeah.
And I believe, consequently, it actually prefers doing tail swinging attacks more than trying to just smash you with the club tail.
And
it will try to hit you with the club tail, obviously, but
which like I like these kind of like subspecies that are like a little like noticeably different, and they're not just behaviorally the same.
Yeah.
Like I do appreciate little details like that. I would say like this one is a little bit better than the regular one.
Yeah. So
like
still on the low tier though?
Yeah. I still can't like feel like pushing it further than that. Also, I hear my phone ringing real quick. Let me check that.
Go ahead. We're basically done with the rust anyway. How y'all doing, chat? You having a good day? Yay, good Bucket. Echoing at maximum, good. Yeah. Nice, Fancy. Hope you have good luck with that. Oh, Pibza. What kind of Pibza you get? Oh, that sounds good. That sounds real good. That sounds tasty.
There was a package outside and it's raining.
Ah. I'm guessing you went and brought it in? Good cat. Now, time for something that I know is one of Cat's favorites.
Yes.
She's ready to continue.
Yes.
Namiel.
One of my absolute favorite monsters.
I understand why this thing is gorgeous.
It's so pretty.
Also, Chai's favorite. Again, very understandable. Design-wise, Namiel is an amazing Elder Dragon.
So pretty. The bioluminescence, just like... This is the thing that I love about its design, is the fact that it's like, it's not just a dragon. Got these big bioluminescent jellyfish-esque wings, and it moves around, like, the way that it moves.
It's so fluid.
It really is.
And I love that it's not just bioluminescence, it's specifically that type of deep sea, like, LED line bioluminescence.
Yep.
You know, it's not just that it glows, it's that it's got specifically the lines of dots that glow.
I adore...
Namiel is so pretty. Fight is a little... Fight could do with some updating, in my opinion, but
I'll be
again,
honest.
not judging on Fight.
This might be the it might be the Elder Dragon that I fought the most solo.
You know what? Fair. Absolutely fair. And yeah, Bucket's voicing my main complaint with Namiel. It's
Yeah. Like, I can agree with that. I got to the point where I got really fucking good at fighting it. Also abused the hell out of iframes. You kind of had to.
Yeah, it's just nice if you didn't exactly have to. Like, it just, you know, couldn't blow up the entire area you're fighting it in at once.
I think the whole thing that helped me with fighting it is I had just finished playing Dark Souls. I was like, oh yeah, I just abuse iframe to avoid these attacks.
I think if just the puddles could go away after a little bit, that would make it a little better.
Yeah, but... like, theoretically, if I remember correctly, you could make them go away, but you had to, like, burn it, which was like, eh.
Yeah. But we're not talking about the fight, we're talking about the monster.
We're talking about the monster design, and it's a gem.
This thing is absolutely a gem. So, do you want to put it above, below, or between the laggies?
I mean, it's very high up there for me. Personally,
also,
it is
also very fair bucket.
Yeah. That is all. That is, honestly, yes, that was my biggest, like, complaint, was how many things could do that and kind of, like, stop you in your tracks and not give you a whole lot of time to react.
Okay. Do you like this thing's design more or less than Abyssal Laggy?
I do. I kind of do. I have a soft spot for bioluminescence.
I'll accept that, because it is a very, very good design.
Like, out of the things in world, its design goes so hard. Also, the armor set that you get from it is very fucking adorable. Hi, Nia.
Hi, Nia. Now, for the next one, arachnophobes beware. Arachnophobes beware, this thing is a giant spider.
Oh yeah, I just realized that as well.
Yeah?
All of our gems right now are water dragon.
Well, the laggies are aquatic, but they're more electric monsters.
Still.
But yes, no. Arachnophobes beware. Giving you a little bit of a time to avert your eyes.
Arachnophobia warning.
Big one too.
Oddly enough, I can handle the ones in Monster Hunter.
I'm okay with the ones in Monster Hunter. I mean, I'm also not arachnophobic, but
also, if I remember correctly, I'm trying to think if any of the spider-like monsters in Monster Hunter actually have the proper 8 legs, or if there's just 6-legged.
They're not even 6, like they only ever have 4.
Yeah, so it's like
just modding rigging convenience.
Yeah.
But still, Arachnokadaki is very much a spider.
A very cool spider, honestly.
Very, very cool spider. I love this thing. I love that part of its thing is that it has like strands of silk that it keeps attached to the children that it carries around that it uses to help maneuver. I love the webbing cloak on it. I wish the render showed it a little bit better, like not mid-jump, but
yeah, I kind of wondered why, like a lot of the pictures and stuff that they have for the monsters, I wonder why they have them like in poses like I get it for like
I think they try to go for like action-y poses, but
I just want to see the monster.
Yeah, big ol' yokai spider. Fire-breathing yokai spider at that, which is crazy that it has just a flamethrower attack it can whip out.
Like, oh yeah, no, go fight this giant spider. Oh yeah, by the way, it breathes fire. Like, what?
It lives in a volcano and it breathes fire. But I don't necessarily know if I want to, as much as I do love spiders, I don't know if I necessarily want to put this thing up in gems.
Now, I was leaning towards like high. At least like toward the top of high. Because I think that's rad.
I can take that.
It's like my thing with it, I love it. It's a great monster design. It is still like web.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I appreciate, on a level, I do appreciate all of the non-dragons.
Yeah.
Just because it's
not
so
a
much
dragon.
More unique compared to everything that looks like a dragon.
It's not just a stereotypical dragon. It is a big ass spider, and that's
so. Is this thing going absolute top of high right now?
Yes. I want to put it at absolute top of high.
I'll take that. I was debating between high or masterpiece.
This next one might go up in masterpiece.
It might.
I think for the hydrate. Big ass spider.
Only render we have of it, because again, it's a new monster. But hailing from the Sunbreak DLC for Rise, we have the Rocknikadaki subspecies, the Pyre Rocknikadaki.
Yeah. Which,
honestly, the black webbing does a lot.
Yep, that's what I was gonna like say, is like the black trailing off into red. Also the fact that
the
like
white exoskeleton instead.
Yeah, and also the fact if you notice, it looks like it's got like a little voodoo doll kind of thing going on there. That's kind of rad. I'm gonna be honest.
Yep, that is also true.
Spicy spider. Yeah, I'll take Rekka and give more fire. Like, honestly, this goes up in masterpiece for me.
Not just more fire, the fact that this thing is one of the few blast monsters. Like, you gave it so much fire that it started exploding. That's what Pyre is.
See, I also am a bit of a sucker for blast element. I like my explodey weapons. But yeah, no, that design, that's exactly kind of what I was looking for.
Yeah.
Just a little bit something extra.
Alright, spiders are gone for now. There are some somewhere else on the tier list, but again, we'll give another warning when they pop up.
Yeah.
For now, we move on to another Rise monster. The Almudron.
Mud.
Another interesting take on the mud, where it doesn't actually cover itself in mud, it just fights with the mud.
Yeah.
Again, trying to divorce my fighting thoughts on it. Also true, yeah. Also very true.
Peace.
Design-wise, it's kind of a cool... Like, as much as I said Gerytotus was kind of a catfish-looking thing, this thing looks very catfish to me.
Like, I'm thinking about the design, and I'm just like, the first thing that like pops into my head is the very, very much like Eastern dragon design. It's like very much like Eastern dragon.
You'd slap your ass with a mud ball. Yeah, God, that thing loves doing mud ball.
I have seen.
I have fought. It's very stubborn about it. I also like that its tail almost feels slightly prehensile in a way. Like, not the entire tail, but at least just the end that it uses to, like, collect and move the mud, at the very least. Like, it feels like it has a level of flexibility there.
Yeah, it's like a pseudo hand. Which is pretty neat.
Yeah.
And I do appreciate the use of mud as not as, like, a hardening mechanic, but just as an actual, like, move set.
Yeah, it uses the mud offensively rather than defensively.
Yeah.
So where are we putting it?
Design-wise and stuff, I think this one goes in high. I think it belongs in high.
Where exactly in high?
I would put it just below the crab. Because I still think the crab is, like, the fact that it's not a dragon helps it out a lot to me. Not that I hate, like, the use of dragons in Monster Hunter.
Oh yeah,
there's just a lot of dragons in Monster Hunter.
There's so many dragons that there's so many dragons that the non-dragons stand out.
Yes. Points at water dragon in chat. I'm gonna head pat
that
you.
Dragon is good. That dragon can stay.
That dragon, that's a good dragon. Tuck that dragon in a pocket. That's a good dragon.
We have the Almudron subspecies, the Magma Almudron.
That's rad as hell.
This one's... I have not fought it particularly much, but it basically uses cooling magma instead of mud.
I can bet that fight is fucking scary.
It's annoying at the very least, yes.
Its design, though, that's fucking cool. Like, I'm not gonna lie, that's cool.
It's kind of interesting how the same design can look so different with just a different, like, color palette.
See a theme here? Monster. Oh, monster, but hot. Oh!
And yeah, Bucket also raises a good point. Like, this is from the newest installment, and they did such a good job making it look like it's glowing on certain parts, just with heat.
Like, that in and of itself, I think, like, takes it up so much further for me. It's just because, like, it's not easy to make something look like that. As cleanly as that.
I love the cooled, drippy magma parts on its tail.
Yeah, like, you can see, like, the outside's hardened. Yeah, the outside's, like, hardened, but the inside is still, like, molten hot. That's so cool.
Oh yeah, well, so no, that RE engine is insane powerful.
Like, I do want to, like, know your, like, opinion on this, because I do want to put it, like, high, but I'm on the fence of whether to put it toward the top of high or into to master.
The problem is, I think I've only really ever fought this thing once. Like, I kind of forgot it was here.
That's fair.
So I think that alone kind of keeps it out of master for me, because if I don't remember it, I mean, to be fair, I am just a forgetful squid. But if I don't remember it, it
didn't leave enough of a lasting impression on you. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's valid. So high it goes.
I'm okay. Yeah, top of high, I'm guessing, above regular rock.
Toward the top of high, yeah.
All right.
That's cool. It's cool.
We have, I believe, yes, this is our first monster that hails from the very first Monster Hunter game, and has been very consistently brought back throughout because it's just that good of a fight. We have Diablos.
One of the few monsters that was accurately portrayed in that funny little movie that exists. I have to admit, like, they actually did a good job with Diablos. Everything else in that is kind of a train wreck. Diablos is okay.
I mean, that's what I've heard about the movie is like Diablos and Rathalos. Whenever they're on screen, it's amazing. Everything else is garbage.
Yes, exactly what I expected from that director.
You know what? Fair enough. But when it comes to old Diablos here, like, you can tell it's definitely an older design just because of how, for lack of better terms, not over-designed it is.
Yeah.
But it's just so solid.
Nia, same. Wasn't it, like, at some point?
I don't remember.
Because I remember with, like, World's biggest issue was that they really got a lot of flack for the lazy weapon designs.
It wasn't lazy. They've come out and said that it was, or the art director said that they were trying to go for a more realistic look to the weapons, but
it didn't feel Monster Hunter enough.
Yeah. Which thankfully they seem to be avoiding with Wilds.
Me sitting here like Rise made me so happy for that reason because there were so many unique weapons.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole part of like Monster Hunter for me with the weapon system is like, if it's from a monster, they should look different from this one that's from a different monster.
Mm-hmm. And not just have a different pelt attached to it.
Yeah. Instead of it being just like iron weapon number 37.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, I appreciate the little, like, monster bit details.
Mm-hmm. But, I mean, coming back to Diablos, if I may.
Ease.
I love how just... Like, Diablos is probably the most fitting name for the monster's design.
Yes.
You know, like, I cannot think of another name for this thing other than Diablos.
I also, I love the fact that Diablos is literally, like, a hybrid Triceratops antlion dragon.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of rad.
Hilariously enough, it's just a herbivore.
Yeah. It's literally...
It just wants to be left alone and eats cactus. The problem is stuff keeps walking into its space.
Yeah. That's my favorite thing about Diablos is that it's just a herbivore.
Mm-hmm.
This really fucking intimidating motherfucker here just eats cactus.
It wants nothing more than to just hang out in the sand and chew on cactus, and everything else just keeps wandering into its space. I love the giant horns. I love the two giant tusks as well.
And
like, I love that it actually doesn't even have claws on it. Like, it's hard to tell on the render, but it doesn't have claws on its wings. It just has claws on its feet. They're
purely just for like mobility. That's literally all that they exist for. Which it always like the thing with Diablos that always makes me giggle is the fact that it has wings.
Mm-hmm. And it
does not fly.
It doesn't fly.
It does not fly. They are purely there for aesthetic reason.
I think the only time you even see it actually fly with its wings is if you let it leave a pitfall trap.
And it doesn't.
And even then, it just sort of flaps a few times to get its balance, and then it lands again.
Yeah, like I love that they are literally, for the most part, just purely for show, and I love that.
And to be fair, considering it is a desert creature, it could also be for like thermal regulation.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, Wilson does bring a good point. Like, when it comes to big herbivores, they will fuck things up.
It is true.
Mm-hmm. Hippos, rhinos, elephants, all of them.
It's like...
Do not make them mad.
Yeah, and honestly, like, Diablos is one of, like, a handful of the very early monsters that I feel like they kind of, like... They were locked in when they designed Diablos.
I mean, there's a reason I believe this guy has appeared in every single game. Literally every single game, because he originated in the first.
It's a good monster. It's a good fight.
It's a good... And, like, because of that, I don't think I can put it any lower than Masterpiece.
Yeah, honestly, like
it's just such a clean, well done design.
Which I may be a little bit biased as well. Seeing the other two, they're probably also gonna be joining.
We'll see. Does base Diablos go above or below the Pyre?
It goes below for me, just because like I have a soft spot for the non-dragon-esque monsters, especially when they go that hard. Rachna is really fucking good.
Yeah. Very valid. Now we have the subspecies, which, given Monster Hunter's later design variation conventions, probably shouldn't be a subspecies, should be called something else. Black Diablos.
AKA female Diablos, but horny.
Danny, if she was a Diablos.
Horny mad Diablos.
Since you're a void cat.
Yeah. Thank you for the hider. I will say
That's all I mean. I'm not talking about anything else. No, not at all.
The smug fucking bee. But genuinely, I actually like Black Diablos is one of the fights I genuinely had a whole lot of fun with in World. I actually really like. Yeah.
It's really just Diablos, but a little faster and significantly more aggressive.
And also,
which is saying something considering Diablos.
Also in that one area in the pit where it disappears behind the sand waterfall and then lunges out. I actually really like it.
That is such a cool set piece move.
Like, fighting a Diablos that's like twice as aggro there's just something so like adrenaline pumping about that. And also like, surprise, surprise, I like dark colors. No.
Yeah, I do too, Wilson. I love that if regular Diablos and a Black Diablos meet, they actually do fight.
Yeah. Like, it does, like...
I think it's just 50-50 for either one to win as well.
Yeah. I just love the fact that, though, like, Black Diablos is literally so aggro that it will just throw down with anything that it comes in contact with. It does not care.
So where are we putting this one? Above Pyre or?
I'm gonna put it above regular Diablos. I don't quite think I want to put it above Pyre.
Fair enough. Now we have our first Deviant, which is basically just subspecies but significantly harder.
Yep.
Hailing from Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, actually, which is the one game since I started playing that I actually skipped, so I haven't fought this thing.
Yo, it be the Deviant.
Bloodbath Diablos.
This one is gonna be... This one is almost like on par design-wise for, as Rachna for me. Just because, like...
Also, I'm just gonna say it. When something is basically named the Demon, you stay away from it. When something is named Bloodbath on top of that, you don't want to go anywhere near this thing.
Just like, look at that. Even though you can't really see a whole lot of it for the dust,
again, only render.
Yeah, it's like, it's so visible, each little like bit of that red on top of the black. And
the red cracks do look really cool.
And you can see like just how many more spines and spikes this one has compared to the regular Diablos.
I also like the asymmetric horns.
Yes.
I like that it has the one regular Diablos horn and then one that's like probably got broken in half and then split in two when it regrew.
Yep. It's such a cool design, and I have heard, this is the one thing that I've heard about it, it is a tough fight.
Having played Generations and only really been able to beat the two easiest Deviants, yes, I can believe that. The Deviants are almost unfairly hard.
Design-wise, this is fucking cool, and I don't know whether to put it above or below Rachna. Because, like, to me, it's kind of on par. Like, this, it's like, it's not just a color palette change. Like you said, there's the uneven horns, and then, like, on top of that, there's that really cool red pattern on it. It's such a cool design. There's so much that is involved in this, and I love it. I really do want to just put it right next to Pyre. Because they're like...
Left or right? Which side? If I were to pick, I would put it here.
I think that's fair. Because, like, to me, they're, like, basically even. They're both really good.
They are very incredibly well designed. In my opinion, the thing that gives Pyre one extra point is that it's not a dragon.
Yeah, like
it's a giant spider.
It's unique for Monster Hunter. Which, speaking of dragons.
Speaking of dragons, which is probably going to make me look like a giant hypocrite, just because these dragons are all really good. Another thing that has been hailing since the very first game and has continually shown up since. Rathian.
It's hard to really, like, argue against Rathian.
It's so hard to argue against both Wraths, because they're just, like, they're, like, design-wise, they are just a dragon, but they are such an incredibly well-done dragon.
Yep. It's, like, the only ones...
If I saw either one show up in a fantasy movie...
Yeah.
I would not go like, oh, that doesn't look like a dragon. It's like, no, that's absolutely a dragon.
Yeah. In before, like, the stereotypical, well, that's a wyvern, a worm.
Yeah, but wyverns are a type of dragon, so
yeah, it's like it's a dragon. It's in the realm of the family of dragon. It's draconic in nature. Also, I give it, like, a little bit extra props in the fact that they decided, instead of just going, like, it's just bog standard dragon, it has a poison fucking tail.
That's a really cool addition. Like, not just that she can spit fireballs, but that the spines on her tail are poisonous.
Yeah, it's like, I like that they kind of look like this disheveled pine cone, almost. It's neat. Bug dragons and wyverns for lindworm representation.
If a lindworm is what I'm thinking of, there might be some later on the list.
Meow. But, like, out of all of this line of specific dragon, the only ones that I ever had any, like, issue fighting are gold and silver, specifically at the same fucking time.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Just, that's the only thing that I will say, fuck that. Jesus Christ. But
just in terms of design, honestly, the like muted forest green is just a good look.
Yes. Like,
it's a real good look.
I like this. It's good. Yeah. It's a solid dragon. It's a good dragon.
Is she a masterpiece or is she just a high?
I think, like, honestly, just because they've basically been, like, Rathian and Rathalos are both kind of like the, like, they're the monsters you kind of think of, like, first, oftentimes when you think of Monster Hunter.
As I said, Rathalos is to Monster Hunter what Pikachu is to Pokemon.
Yeah.
He is the mascot for the series. And Rathian, sort of by extension, is a sub-mascot just because they're the female type of that species. Female type? Whatever.
Yeah. So, like, Rathian with the muted green, I think for me, Rathian would be at, like, the top of high.
Top of high?
I think the top of high.
Yeah, I can accept that. And for as well designed of a dragon as she is, there's also nothing particularly special going on. Really?
Yeah. It's like, that's the thing.
Not that that's bad. But...
Not that that's bad at all, because, like, there's a reason that Rathian and Rathlos have basically been in every single game.
Yep. Same with the first two of her subspecies. Pink Rathian.
I actually really like Pink Rathian.
Now, I think Bucket's the one that told me I like the French name for this more.
Oh?
Because I believe it's Rosé Rathian.
Yeah. No, I believe that is, yeah.
That's just better than pink. Oh no, Rathian Sakura. That's even better.
I love that.
That's even better.
But the thing that I really like as well
Wrath but sunburnt.
is I can't remember if here's my Merlot Rathian. I can't really remember if Rathian just by default has those extra little like spines on like
down the edge of her wings?
No, like on top, like on the back and
oh
yeah, like toward the joint of the
does?
wing. They're not really like accentuated as much on regular Wrath as Pink Rathian. I think it's like they stand out a lot more on this color palette.
Maybe. Yeah, they do stick out a little bit more against the pink than against the dark green. Or
Yeah,
the pale green.
I think with the pink, you notice like things a little bit more differently. You see a little bit more of the details. Also, I just really like the pink. I like the pink color and as well as the fight. The fight does not play any
I love
factor
that
in
I
this.
started this by... Yeah, we keep bringing up the fights.
Look, it's personal experience on top of this, but the personal experience has nothing to do with where they get placed.
Yeah.
It's just it's a nice talking point.
Yeah. So where are we putting pink?
Like, design-wise, pink I do actually... I want to put pink. I'm debating.
Higher than green?
I do want to put it higher than green.
Does she get into masterpiece?
That's what I'm, like, debating. What would you think?
I think I'd keep her in high. Because again, like... Well, it is a pink Rathian, literally.
Yes.
When it comes to the Rathian's design itself, there's nothing really pushing it up that next level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I can agree with that. It is a color palette swap.
Continuing on, because we've only gotten through 20 monsters so far, and we have 200. We might need to go for an extra hour today to make up for the tech problems earlier.
We got this.
Gold Rathian. Which... better.
Yep.
But, again, I don't know if there's any... it's just a Rathian.
Yeah, like
there's again, nothing about the Rathian's base design is enough to put it into masterpiece for me.
Yeah.
It's good. It's fantastic. She's probably going to end up in the higher echelons of high scoring.
Yeah.
But...
absolutely a bitch of a fight. Yeah, like... And yes, the models for gold and silver are very good. They're very good in World. But yeah, no, I don't have any objections putting it at the top high.
Above pink?
Yeah.
The gold is like...
The gold is like really well done.
About the pink, the gold does look really good.
Like, I'll give them the credit for this. They didn't make it like gaudy gold. It's like proper, not like super shiny, reflective gold. It's like, yeah, that's gold. It's
now we have her deviant introduced in the base generations, Dread Queen Rathian.
Oh fuck.
Now this one is fight-wise, she is a Rathian, No, no apexes. They're basically just slightly different color shades of the base.
This is rad, though.
Yeah, and the poison in her tail is even stronger.
Like, I see it, like visibly flying out of the tail.
It is dripping from her tail.
But one thing I want to note with this, that's snakeskin.
Where? On the wings?
Like, that's snakeskin pattern on the wings, and if you look at the tail, too, it's very reminiscent of, like, snake. That's kind of rad.
Now, this might actually bump up into Masterpiece for me, because of those extra little details. It's still very recognizable as a Rathian, but the idea of a dragon that has so much virulent toxin in its tail spines that it's actually leaking out.
Like, I'm gonna be honest, I do kind of want to put this at, like, at the very least, like, probably toward the like the back of Master right now.
Yeah,
I think it definitely does deserve that bump up to Master, because, like, that is a very unique Rathian.
Oh. Danny?
Oh, did I explode? I did explode.
Okay. Well, I think you only exploded for a second there.
Yeah, I think that was only for a second this time.
Yeah, no, you said something like that is, and then you cut out. So
okay.
What were you gonna say?
I said, like, this one does deserve, like, the bump up for me, just because, like, it is very unique of a Rathian. Like, now I exploded again. But
well, I caught enough.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, there's just enough added to the base Rathian design to make it better.
Yeah, like, it deserves being bumped up to that next to the next tier.
Now we have two of the more gross Elder Dragons, but still very cool. Valhazak.
The Corpse Dragon. Valhazak.
This thing might go into Masterpiece, honestly.
I honestly, I'd agree, because it's a rad fucking design.
It's such a clever design. I love that it's not actually just a zombie, it's just covered in just the rot of its home.
Yeah, it's literally just covered in rot. And it's cool. Honestly, like, it's very solid. I would put it, for me personally.
Sorry, I just also want to say it's got the, like, the funky sort of nested jaw thing going on, which is hard to see in the render.
It really is.
I love that it's also hard to tell if it's actually got two jaws or if it's just got another jaw stuck to its head. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. It's like those little details like that really take it to the next level for, like, designs. Looks how I feel after a night of drinking.
I go take care of yourself.
I would put it, like, for me personally, it does belong in Master, and it goes, like, above Black Diablos. Like, right square in the middle there.
I would have actually put it above Pyre, honestly.
There's a reason why, like, I'm saying there.
So right here?
Yeah. Because
subspecies.
Yeah, because this one goes at the top.
Okay, you know what? Fair.
This one goes at the top for me.
Black Veil Valhazak.
Black Veil takes, like, everything from.
Yeah.
It takes everything from regular Valhazak and just, like, cranks up the, like, disgust factor.
It's
also,
not just covered in rot, it's now also covered in mold.
Also, I don't know how many of you can see this, but if you look up there on the wing, it kind of looks like a skull. In the mold pattern.
Yeah, I think I can see it. I can see it, yeah.
Like, literally...
But just... How do we make the walking biohazard worse?
I know, the plague. It's just like... It's so much more, like, deadly than its regular counterpart. but it's like, it's in a way that you can like deal with. You can kind of counter it. You can work around it, but just
A little bit.
effect-wise, it does so much more.
Yeah. Honestly, like
it just decides
if
this
you were to
area,
ask-
fuck this area.
Yeah. It is a walking plague. And honestly, like, if you had asked me, like, hey, let's take that, like, pseudo zombie dragon, how would you make it better? I would never have guessed add mold. But whoever did, like, genius move.
Exactly. And
also just the name too, Black Veil.
yep.
Like I said with Bloodbath Diablos, like, that descriptor makes it so much scarier.
It's just like, it's an ominous name. But, like, absolutely this thing goes at the top for Master for me, just because, like,
Okay.
it's so different to, like, other dragons. And, like, they went super hard on its
They really
design. I dig
Now,
it.
another monster from World. Odogaron.
Yeah. The doggo.
Fucking weird ass. Not actually skinless, just evolved to look like it's skinless.
Yeah.
Just
Bumper.
thing.
Filtered me so hard. Oh, Aiko.
Yeah. You are fighting quite a few like slower lumbering things before this guy, so that sudden speed jump is a
It's also
a thing.
smaller.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's smaller than you would think it would be, and it's so fucking fast.
I love the like 2 layers of claws on its feet.
It's rad.
I also love the tiny pinprick eye as well.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think it actually has very poor vision. It very much is a scent-based hunter.
Yeah.
Which makes sense given where you find it, but
I remember my first time fighting one of these, and running into it with a greatsword was a hell of an experience.
how do you think I feel trying to chase this thing around with a charge blade?
Yeah, it's like, I will say, I got really good at timing thanks to this, thanks to this fight.
Wow, I like this thing too. This was a really good design.
It's rad. It kind of like, when I first saw it, it reminds me a whole hell of a lot of like statues.
Yeah, I think I know what you mean.
Like the very ornately carved monster-esque statues. And it is rad. It's a cool monster.
Is it a masterpiece or is it high?
It's high. This one is high.
Fair enough.
Cause like it's
Where
cool.
in high to go?
I would put it honestly